Okay, so we have completed our output stream. Now that how do we format our output, how do we display our output, if data type are different, then which type of things we have to use. Now we come to the input. Suppose we want to take input from the keyboard on runtime. Right now what we are doing, we are just initializing our values directly in our program. But suppose your program is running and then you want to take values from the keyboard, then what should we do? So we are going to discuss that thing here, that in this case you will use this scanf function. And scanf is similar to the printf function. Printf is used to printing and scanf is used to take value from the keyboard. So it is input function, printf is output function. So this is the structure of this function. These are the values which you will provide, and this is the name you will call. Okay, so here what happens, basically it is input function, so it will again be part of this stdio.h. If you want to use scanf function, then you have to use this stdio.h before calling this function, otherwise it will say no declared function error. In input scanf function, equivalent, it is equivalent to the printf function. It is part of this thing, like that means it is similar. Okay, so you have declared one variable value and you want to take value from the keyboard when your program is running in value variable. So what you will do, you will decide which type of variable it is, whether it is percentage variable, character variable, or integer variable. If it is integer variable, then you will take %d, which you were taking in printing, similar to that. And then you will write here value, variable name, and then this address. Address means that you will go, means this program will automatically go to the memory address of the value and then store the value which you are entering through keyboard. So if you want to take a percentage from the user at runtime, then you will write f, because f represent your floating point number and d is used for integer values. Okay, so it will read your floating point percentage value, %d will use your read a decimal integer value. Okay, and ampersand, as I have discussed, it provide you the address. You go to that particular address and then store that value, which will be later on stored or will be taken or used by the value variable. So let's see how it is done in this program. So in this simple example, I have taken 3 variables of different type. One is integer number, other one is float number, third one is character number. So if you, whatever information or requirement you have from your real world and you want to print, means you want to take these values from when you are running the program on on runtime, then first you will print enter character. After that you will write scanf. Since it is character, so you will write %c, and then you will write address character. Okay, because character is the variable name. If you want to take integer value, you will write enter integer value, then you will write %d comma address integer. Similarly you will write float, and like that. And then you can also print these values and see what these values are. So here the output of this program is given. Enter character, it was displaying, so I entered r. Enter integer, I entered 34, and then I entered float 56.78. So now when I'm printing it, so it is printing R34 56.79999. It is not printing 78. Reason is that when you give any value, float value basically, so according to the memory and the computer system architecture, it stored that thing in some format. Okay, so from that format, sometimes in floating values, some value up and low can go, but it will not be beyond 0.001 point. Okay, so that depends on the structure, although this value will remain the same. Similarly, you can take more than 2 values in the character in the same sentence. Okay, so same program as the previous one, but we are not writing 3 scanf function. We are just writing 1 scanf function and then taking all 3 values in one scanf statement. Okay, the only thing you will do is when you enter one value, according to the requirement, then you will give space and then you will enter next value. Like that it will happen. So we have entered y 4578.34. Again, it has given us carry value y, integer value 45, and then float value 78.399996, like that. So basically you can write scanf function for each input you are taking, or you can take multiple inputs using scanf function. Same happens with the printf. You can print each value by creating separate printf function, or you can have all printed value in a single printf function. That you have to understand when you are writing the program. Okay. Next is use of long and double. So we have declared these four variables: integer variable, long variable, float number variable, double variable, and we want to take, in this example, all of them with a single statement using scanf, and with a single statement using printf we will be printing them. So you can see that in printf statement I have asked that print values, means enter value. It should be enter values: integer number, long number, float number, double number. So I have correspondingly taken, if I am taking integer value, then percent d is there. If I am taking long number, then percent ld is there. If I am taking float number, then percent f is there. If I am taking double number, then long float is there. Now similarly I am printing these values in the single printf statement. So you can see, you can play with according to your requirement, and you can do these experiment, and all these things are available and allowed in programming language. You can use multiple printf statement or single printf statement to print multiple values. You can use multiple scanf statements using taking multiple inputs, or you can take single scanf statement but still take multiple values from the user. So both ways you can do according to your convenience.